Well, life is full of ups and downs, and then you die. I accept what is. I embrace all reality as myself. That's what I was thinking in September 2001. I was flying out to California from Baltimore on 2001 in the morning, and they served some kind of pizza omelet for breakfast. And then I was just sitting there kind of like meditating and thinking about that, like, I accept what is, I embrace all reality as myself. And then the people came on loudspeaker and told us that we were going to be landing in Lincoln, Nebraska instead of flying on to San Francisco. And they didn't tell us why, but when we got off in time to go into the little lounge and watch the World Trade Center collapse. And then they took us to this Salvation Army place and fed us old pizza and lots of sodas, and took us on the bus to the Cornhusker Hotel in Lincoln, Nebraska. And on the way there, my stomach started to really hurt, like really pains. I got off the bus and started puking. So when we were going in the hotel, then there were like nurses there, and they were asking if anybody had a problem. I said, well, I don't know. I said, I really got bad pains in my stomach, and I, started throwing up, and I'm going up to my room. So then later I came out of my room, and everybody, they were all looking for this person, and they said the name. I didn't recognize the name, some weird name, but it was kind of like my name. So I said, well, are you talking about Colvin, Mr. Colvin? And they go, yeah, that's it. I said, well, that's me. So they took me into the lobby, and they put me out on a gurney and hooked all these wires up to me. And then they said, oh, your vitals are good. And this one guy pushed down on the right side. Does that hurt? Yeah, that hurts. And he goes, I think you're having a gallbladder attack. And I said, well, he said, we should take you to the hospital and take it out. I said, well, I don't have any health insurance. And I'm on my way to California. And then the lady from the Red Cross was there. She said, well, because of the circumstances of national emergency, that the Red Cross will take full responsibility and go to the hospital, and you can have the surgery and everything. Well, this is all kind of a tangent off of this, Anyway, I said, no, I'm sorry, I'm going to California because my mother is dying from cancer, and I don't want to, I don't know, I don't want to take time to go to the hospital, so I'll drink ginger ale. And I did that, and it kind of went down and everything like that. I got, after 3 days, we got going again. Just got out at the last minute because of 7 different levels of security check before you can fly out, and we just got it right before they closed the airport on the 3rd day, because they just were starting to let planes out. Went to San Francisco, and they had all the airports closed again, and then so they put us up there in a Hyatt Regency hotel, which was pretty nice. And I came the next day, and then they had opened the airport and closed the airport. It started to get kind of tense, and then I think I ate some for breakfast. I shouldn't got another gallbladder attack. Got up to California, and my mom was going through a real rough time, and the doctor advised the hospice program, so I became the primary caretaker. Went on for a while, and then I didn't mean to talk about my gallbladder attack. Anyway, just to get that out of the way, it really got bad, and so they took me to the hospital and gave me morphine. And when I woke up, I was everything was hazy, because if I'd really been thinking, and if I knew then what I know now, I would not have had the gallbladder out because it was just starting to act up. I think I could have fixed it, but anyway, now I don't have a gallbladder, and they didn't sew it up right. So, oh man, I have this bump there in my stomach where after they did the surgery. Anyway, so I took care of my mom until she died, and then I was driving around a lot. One day I just got in a car and I just like drove. I was in Bernie, California, and I drove over past Fall River and MacArthur, up the mountains, up to Beaver, and I just kind of kept going. But it started to snow, and it was really started to get to be a bad blizzard. And I thought, I think I better turn around and go back home. I was driving around a lot on those mountain roads during that time. And anyway, I got home, and a friend of mine, Kathy, called up. Kathy and Gil and Kathy invited me to come over and get something to eat. And I said, okay, well, I'll be right over. I'm just sitting here playing my guitar a little bit. Let me finish this song. And it really was just because I was driving around on the highway, and the name of this song is called Traveling Down the Highway. Sometimes I feel like a god. Sometimes I feel like a slave. Sometimes I want